What's up, you guys? Zoe here from oneglancetrader.com, and in this video, I'm going to be walking you through step by step on how you can make $2,000 a month or $24,000 a year absolutely passively for the rest of your life. And the key thing about this is you don't have to do any type of additional work than your traditional kind of day job or whatever it is that you do for a living. And what I'm also going to show you guys is the kind of rates or how long it will take you to get to this number, because I'll be honest, there is something here where when I see YouTube videos about passive income, it's the piece that they don't talk about is how long it will take you to get there. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, the more money you have, the quicker it is to get to your passive income goal. In this example, $2,000 a month or $24,000 a year. So we're going to be basing an assumption today that you have $0 to invest from day one, but you can invest $1,000 per month, whether that's from your day job or a side gig or whatever it is, into this investing vehicle that I'm going to refer to later on inside this video. So those are the assumptions, and then you'll see how long it will take to get to that $2,000 a month. And based on your own circumstances and the websites and calculators we're going to use, you can plug in your own numbers to kind of see realistically how long is it going to take you. So if you like the sound of that, all I ask for is that you smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification icon. I'm producing weekly videos on how to make money. Traditionally, I do that through investing in stocks, options, and Forex. And I've got a lot of videos in terms of how to do that. But for this particular video, we're going to take all that complication, nothing to do with trading, nothing to do with indicators or anything like that. We're just going to look at pure ETF or index fund investing and how we can generate $2,000 a month passively, where from day one you have no savings, but you can afford to put $1,000 a month into an investment vehicle. So what is the exact strategy that we're going to do? So it's a two-step approach. So step one is to invest into an investment vehicle, which we'll go into in a second. And the aim there is to build up, or in this example, put the $1,000 a month into this investing vehicle, let that investment grow. And when it gets to the desired point, you then do step two, which then you put it into an income vehicle, which then pays you your 2K per month. So that is the two-step plan, is to build an investment pot and then take it take it out of the investment pot, stick it into this income vehicle that pays you passively $2,000 a month. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to start with income vehicle first to understand what income vehicles or income investments we can put our money in today, to work out then how much money we need to fund this income vehicle, which then will help us in terms of this particular investment vehicle. So what we're going to do is we are going to, the income vehicle that we're going to be looking at is an ETF called QYLD. So that's the ticker symbol, QYLD. And what QYLD does, it pays you roughly currently a 10% dividend per year. And we're going to go through some numbers inside the QYLD kind of previous returns, so you can kind of see what this kind of looks like. So if we are looking to get $2,000 a month, which is $24,000 a year, we need to have in this income vehicle 240K, $240,000, paying us a 10% dividend, which will give us $2,000 a month in passive income. So what I'm going to do now is just walk you through this QLD, or this portfolio visualizer, which goes through a back test, and to show you over historic returns, what if we put in 240,000, what that kind of results into from an income generating perspective. So this fund started in 2014, and then I've just done it till last year, 2021. So the initial amount we're going to invest is 240,000. So we've already done all the hard work in terms of, the investment vehicle, making that, building up that $1,000 a month plus all the appreciation that's gained, to get us to 240,000. So the goal is we need to get $240,000 in cash. Now, if you've got that today, great, you can do this tomorrow. But I'm assuming that you don't have any savings to put in. All you have is $1,000 a month available. And we'll go into that in a second. So we're not going to add anything else into this. We're not going to add any additional contributions. Don't need to worry about rebalancing. We are not going to reinvest the dividends. Now, the reason why we're not reinvesting the dividends, because the assumption is that you want to use that $2,000 a month to either supplement your lifestyle, quit your day job, go on holidays, whatever it may be. But the plan here is we're not reinvesting those dividends. So we want to display the income, and the rest I've kind of left as a default. So I've selected the QYLD. Global Nasdaq 100 covered call ETF, and I'll go into what this is and how they're able to pay such a high dividend. And we're putting on 100% of our allocation into this fund. So then, when you now look at the return since it launched in 2014, you'll see here that the balance from 2014 to 2021 has actually gone down. And again, we'll go into that inside a second. But the piece I wanted to refer you to is the yield. So the yield has varied between 10.10% to a low of 8.44, but consecutively over the last 4 years has been hovering between 10 and 12%. So the average there is around 10%. And you can see here that the income you've generated through your initial investment, you can see here is, it varies from year to year with inflation and various other things, but you can see that you're making consistently like 24K a year, which is $12,000 a month. So that is our income vehicle that we are going to use, QYLD, to be able to, I'm just going to change the color on this so you can see. So that's our income vehicle that we're going to use, QYLD, to put in that 240,000. But you can see here, just take a quick screenshot of this so you can kind of see. You can see here that our balance, we started with 225K and now we ended with 208K. So the reason why that is, and one of the drawbacks of the QYLD fund, is that it is what it says here. It's a NASDAQ covered call ETF. Now, for those of you who watch my channel, will understand what covered calls are. But effectively, what it does, it takes your money that you invest, so in our case, the 240,000, and then it places an at the money covered call for 30 days, right? And then on the last day, at the end of the 30 days, it then, what if it's in the money or out the money, whatever happens, it will then open a brand new covered call for 30 days later. Now, the reason why they're able to pay such a high dividend is because when you sell covered calls, you receive a premium. And because they're selling at the money premium, at the money covered calls, it generates a high amount of premium, which they can distribute amongst the investors as a dividend, right? The downside of doing this and selling at the money covered calls and letting them expire, whether your shares get called away or not, is that it limits your upside growth. And again, I'll do a separate video. If you want a separate video on QYLD and the kind of drawbacks to it from an investment perspective, drop me a comment or an email. I can do a video on that if there is a need for it. But what it does is it restricts your growth. Doesn't mean that it will continue dropping or restrict your growth. It's not going to move a lot to the upside. So the plan here is which is why it's an income vehicle, not an investment vehicle. So we're parking our money to generate 10%. More than likely, you're going to be around break even to slightly down to slightly up. You're not going to get that 240K is not going to appreciate 9-10% a year as it would do inside the investment vehicle that we're about to talk about. So that's why it's important you don't use income vehicles to grow a portfolio. Use income vehicles like QYLD to generate cash flow from this. In our case, getting the 10% a month dividend. So the reason why we started with step 2 is because it now gives us the goal of what we need to make inside our investment vehicle, which in our case is if this produces 10% a month, then we want to get 24K a year. Therefore, we need to generate in this investment account 240K. So that's the goal. The goal is we need to make 240K. Now, again, like I said, I'm basing an assumption that you can put in $1,000 a month into your investment vehicle. And again, this could be from your day job, side job, you might have a business, whatever. However you can, make money, still pay your bills and do all of that stuff. If you want to get to it, you need to put money in. And again, this is where I'm trying to be realistic here is if this number is $500, for example, it's not going to take you double the time because of the magic of compounding, but it's going to take you longer. So what I'm going to do is I've got in here a compound interest calculator, which is taking into account inflation as well. So what we're assuming here is that our initial balance is, you have to put something positive in there. So I'll say you've got $1 to invest at the beginning. And I'm assuming a yearly interest rate of 9.4%, because what we're going to be doing is we are going to be investing into an S&P 500 index fund. And the S&P 500 index fund, with inflation adjusted, gives us an annualized of around 9.4%. You're not going to make 9.4% every single year consistently. Some years will be plus 24%, plus 4%, minus 10%, minus 22%. Along a long enough period, it will average itself out into 9.4%. And because you are dollar cost averaging in every single month, the $1,000 a month, you're going to buy at the highs, you're going to buy at the lows, and then eventually, you're gonna come out on top because your cost basis will get bigger and lower as time goes on. So I'm going to assume that, and I had to backwards re-engineer the time. So 11 years, 4 months. Compounding is going to be in fact, the compounding is actually going to be longer than that, isn't it? Because you're making it annually. So I've got to change that. So this is probably going to make it a bit more longer. And then you're going to assume you're going to make $1,000 a month into this. If we calculate this, so you can see here that if we compound yearly at 9.4% interest rate, putting $1,000 a month at the beginning of every single month, you can see here. Oh, let me just put that in there. Take a screenshot of that so you guys can see that you are thereabouts of 240,000, which just over half of that is just under half of that is the actual interest that you're paying at 9.44% annualized return, right? So now you can actually see that if you put $1,000 a month into an investment vehicle earning you 9.4%, it's going to take you 11 and a half years, right? So let's now have a look now if you only had $500 a month to put in. I'm going to change this now to, let's do 15 years, because it's obviously going to take a bit while longer. Let's do that in there. Calculate. 191,000. So let's do 20 years. Okay, so it's not going to take you that. It's going to probably take you 17 years thereabouts. Yeah, so 17 years. So you can see here that by lowering your monthly from 1,000 to 500, so you're dropping your initial investment or your monthly investment by 50%. It's not taking you, 50% longer really to kind of get there, because you can do it instead of 11 and a half years, you're doing it in 17 years. And again, only doing 500 a month as opposed to doing 1,000 a month. So I really hope that kind of makes sense here, is that this is going to take some time. And to my point, if you've got 240,000, right, then then you can do this tomorrow and make passively $2,000 a month. And this is the piece I'm trying to tell you, trying to be realistic here, is is that 17 years is you need the money, right? You need money inside here. So if this is something that you want and you don't want to create a business, you don't want to create a YouTube channel and revenue or affiliate income and all these other different things, you just want to put in, um, you just want to put in stuff monthly in there. My best advice to you is to get your income, up. And whether that's through your day job, through bonuses, through pay rises, or whatever it may be, because you need to get to 240K as quick as you possibly can. But start today investing, whether it's 100, 200, 500,000 dollars a month, because once you've done it and you set it and you forget it, in again, let's just do it. Let's just look at, you know, let's say you want to make $1,000 a month, right? Passively, right? Let's just say that how many years is that going to take you? Let's just drop this by half. So what's that? Let's do 8 years, right? If we do that in there, 12. So you need 12,000 a year. So that is 120K. So 11. Let's do. Didn't really make that much. I just changed the interest rate. Sorry, 9.4. Change that to 12 years. It's thereabouts. So it's just under 12 years. Let's call it an even 11 to go make $1,000 a month extra income going in there. You create the 120K, then you take that 120K, put it into QYLD. You're making $1,000 a month extra passive income without even thinking about it. How cool is that, right? And that's what I'm just trying to explain to you guys, that if you want to become debt free, if you want to quit your job and do things at your own pace, there are ways to do it, and it's not that complicated, right? There are easier ways to get, as in not easier, there are quicker ways to get there through trading and through options and through various other things that can get you an extra 30, 40K a year to help you drive to make that 240K. And that's what I kind of teach, and that's where I've got some links and everything like that. I'll put the end screen up now so you guys can have a look. But have a look at that. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you've got any questions, comment down below. And I shall see you guys in the next video.